Здравствуйте, товарищи, and welcome to a video log I'm doing. I'm gonna do a mini review of Batman Arkman Asylum because I just finished that game a little while ago, and no, the screen's not in the camera, but and I'm in the middle of publishing some videos, and then there's nothing to do until there's a movie night in like, I don't know, 45 minutes. So I got 45 minutes to kill, so I figured I'd do this vlog about Batman Arkman Asylum. But before I continue, I should also tell you guys that on top of there being a girl from Kazakhstan down the hall, a girl from Japan up above me, right below me, there's a girl from Sweden. And I went to the annoying Swede yesterday, and I was talking to him. I'm like, dude, you have to teach me as much Swedish as you can in as little time as possible. And of course, he like totally half-assed it, and I learned absolutely nothing. I'm like, yeah, thanks, Swede. You know, I'll go tomorrow and throw in my literally seconds of Swedish experience into my conversational skills. But yeah, random aside, it was pretty hilarious. But also never mind. I'll show it to you later. So Batman Arkham Asylum, I just finished this game, and it was pretty crazy, all told. I'm a little bit of a Batman nerd. I'm not huge into like the comics and stuff, but I've dabbled in the comics a little bit. Not huge. I've watched the movies and everything, so I know a thing or two about Batman, and this game, Arkham Asylum, definitely does the Dark Knight a lot of justice. That and his supervillain compadres. And so where to start? I'm doing this all off the cuff like I generally do. I'm gonna try and not have any spoilers, but I guess the thing that most just took me was the atmosphere of the whole asylum. The whole asylum is put together very well. It has a very good atmosphere. The story is very well told. It has a very tight pacing that you want to keep going until eventually you reach the end, a final battle. So that was a huge plus about the game. That it makes every moment feel important. It makes you always want to press on to see what's happening next. And I really got to give props to the guys who developed the game, because they put so much Batman lore into the game. Like, I mean, I was talking with Lucky the other day, and then I found it myself, but there's Calendar Man's cell in the game, and Calendar Man is a Batman villain like a few people know. I only know about him because I had a friend who was really into comics, and he's like, dude, there's a Batman villain called Calendar Man, but yeah, you actually find Calendar Man's cell in the game, and I'm like, holy shit, that's such a random, obscure throwout for the Batman series. But if you don't know what Calendar Man is he commits crimes based on calendar dates, and that's the whole premise of his villain. That's what he does. But yeah, that's Calendar Man. But they actually really nailed a lot of the supervillains. Like I was really surprised at how well they nailed the Scarecrow, because he's a really tough villain to do. He's not an easy villain to portray in like this really like formidable, scary, powerful stance, because realistically he's just like a dude that has some gas that makes you like, oh, you see everything like really scary, everything's really scary, and it's really not an easy thing to do, to make that seem like intimidating and powerful and just well thought out. But they really nailed Scarecrow. Like Batman Begins totally like butchered him. Like they really did a poor job with Scarecrow. But this game was did a lot of justice to that supervillain that I hadn't seen done justice in a very long time. But more on the bosses. A lot of the boss battles kind of sometimes are non-existent. Like they don't really have a boss battle with Harley Quinn. She just kind of like stands up on a rooftop or something and laughs maniacally at you as goons come and you beat the shit out of them. So there's not really a boss battle. But then again, realistically, I was thinking that Batman would like hand most of these villains their asses. Like he can just like beat the shit out of Harley Quinn. Like there's no fight with the Riddler. I'll spoil that now, but he's in the game, and you don't fight with him. But I wanted to fight him, but I'm like, how can you fight him? Because realistically, like, Batman would just like kick the shit out of the Riddler. Like, he doesn't have any defense against a man who's armed to the teeth and has been honing his martial arts skills for 30 years, and he would like throw like question marks at him, and then Batman would break his arm or something like that. But I guess in that sense, I'm kind of disappointed that there's not really traditional boss battles, but I can kind of understand why that's the case. I guess it's more about the journey rather than like the actual fight. Then segueing into combat. Combat is incredibly simplistic, but it makes you feel like an ultimate badass. Like just the way everything flows is incredible. Like how Batman strings his combos together and goes from one guy to the next guy to the next guy, and he just keeps punching the shit out of everybody around him. And then when they counter, you counter them and you stop them and you beat them up a little bit, and you just continue kind of flying around, beating up all these guys and dancing around them, and just really makes you feel like you're the ultimate badass, kicking the shit out of all these guys. So in that sense, the combat is absolutely nailed, but at the same time, it's incredibly simplistic. Like, I realized at one point I didn't even need to use like the analog stick. Like, I was just playing the game, and you hit the X button to attack, and the B button to not the B button, the Y button to counter. So I'm just like sitting there, and when you press X, Batman kind of seeks out the nearest villain and beats him up. So I just keep pressing X, X, X. Oh, there's a guy, counter, Y, X, 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 X. And he's just kind of flying around beating the shit out of everybody. Things get a little bit more complicated when you're throwing dudes with like knives and tasers, and at that point you really gotta plan your movements more. But when you're just fighting like regular thugs, it's pretty simplistic, and you don't even need to use the analog stick. I was beating the shit out of guys with the analog stick. What else is there to say? I'm almost running out of time. About the Predator segments, they are probably some of the best stealth I've seen in a game, and it feels, I guess, really it feels really good to kind of hunt down these guys and pick them up or whatever and kill them and just like totally ninja them and pick them off one by one as they come through. And it all feels very good, and it's a lot of fun. It's definitely a night. They broke the game up very well into these like combat segments, and then the stealth segments, and then like the exploration segments, and then the detective segments. So as soon as you feel like you've beaten up enough dudes, you go to like a little bit of stealth, and as soon as you feel like enough of that, you get to explore a little bit, and then you got to do some forensics work. And it's all very well thought out. It's all very methodical. So I guess final verdict on Batman Arkham Asylum: it is a fantastic rent. It's a fantastic game. It's a really good game. It's definitely the best Batman game probably ever created, and might ever be created unless they make a sequel. But probably, in my opinion, it's the best superhero game I've ever played. It's really quite something. If you're a fan at all of Batman, you owe it to yourself to go and play this game and buy this game or rent it or whatever. But even if you're not a fan, if you just enjoy beating the shit out of dudes, and you enjoy feeling like a badass, and you enjoy a good story with crazy characters, then check out this game regardless, even if you're not a fan, because you'll find something to like, I can guarantee it. But this is Joseph Stalin signing off for now with my quick Arkham Asylum kind of off the cuff review. But I guess I'll see you guys next time.